Alright, good morning. We are going to make some elaborate macaroni and cheese. So let's get started. So you might be thinking, Stacy, what is some elaborate macaroni and cheese? Well, I don't know yet, but we're going to start with some butter. And then we're going to add some onions, because I happen to have a few left. There we go. And we're going to let this cook for a minute. And I will be back once those onions are just a little bit caramelized. Alright, be back in a bit. Alright, these onions are looking really good. So, I'm going to get some corn and put that in there too. Corn? Ah, yes. I almost couldn't find my corn. This is looking good. I'm going to pull these off the heat for just a second. They're cooking a little faster than I anticipated. Alright, the onions are back. I'm going to add a little corn in here. I always drain the corn, check the corn, look at the corn in a bowl. And I do that for every canned good, whether I get it from the food pantry or not. Because you never know. I'm going to put a little corn in here. Now here's the catch. I don't need a whole can of corn. So I'm going to put this in a plastic bag and stick it in the freezer for later. You can, in fact, freeze stuff that was canned. And there's no reason not to. If I didn't do that, the other half of that corn would go to waste. So there it is. I'm going to stick it in the freezer. All right, the corn is getting nice and toasted. It smells good. I'll tell you that. All right, so we got onions and corn in there. And you're going, but Stacy, I thought we were making macaroni and cheese. We are, but I'm not done yet. Not ready for the macaroni. See, do you remember this beef that we cooked up and separated for the scalloped potatoes the other day? Well, we're going to use the rest of it in this macaroni and cheese thing. And at this point, I can put a little water in it. I'm not ready for the macaroni yet, but I want to melt this beef. And then once that's done, we'll put the macaroni in. All right, folks, I'll be back in a minute. All right, it's time to add some spices. Remember, folks, just because it comes in a box doesn't mean you have to leave it that way. So here's some garlic, pepper, red pepper flakes, don't have any more onion powder, don't need ginger, put a little salt in it. All right, salt, and I think that's all the spices I'm going to put in it. All right, now I'm going to let that do its thing. All right, so this is now ready for more water and the macaroni. All right, so I chose the right thing to do with this because look, it's not real macaroni, it's curls or something. So let's put this in here. All right, so yep, this was the right thing to do with this box. Now we just wait for the pasta to cook. I'll be back in a minute. All right, this is smelling good and looking good. I'm going to add some more pepper to it. And I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce to it. And then I almost forgot, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this stuff in there. There we go. Probably 20. Yep, I think that's mine. All right, now we're just going to let it continue to cook. I meant to do that beef broth base when I put in the hamburger, but I forgot. Anyway, but it's in there now. Now we're going to let it cook. I'll be back in a minute. So check out how much food this has made. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, I'm going to add the sauce packet, which isn't really a sauce, it's a powder. So this is what the Kroger sauce packets look like if you've never seen one. So we'll just put that in there. It's just powdered cheese and whatever else. And let's stir this in. All right, I think that looks good. Trying to get the cheese off the back of the spatula. All right, I think that looks great. Just needs to sit there and do its thing. All right, so you might be wondering, how much of this came from the food pantry? Almost all of it. The macaroni came from the food pantry. The corn came from the food pantry. The butter came from the food pantry. If I had put milk in this, the milk would have come from the food pantry. I get hamburger from the food pantry, so the hamburger. So the only thing that really doesn't come from the food pantry in this particular dish is the spices, the onions. Yeah, that's it. Just the spices and the onions. So anyway, I'm going to let that cool off for a minute, and then I'm going to try it. Alright, so this should be pretty tasty, and it should feed me for a couple of meals. Let's see how it tastes. Corn, macaroni and cheese, beef and onions. That's pretty good. Just a little bit of a kick in it. That's the end of this video. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will bring another interesting video to you later.